Sid, it looked like you guys.
Go ahead. Go. Thank you.
You guys had a little bit of a rough start tonight, but then you seemed to find your stride. Was there some talk on the bench, or it just sort of came naturally?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to give up that one early, but we knew we had a lot of time left and just didn't want to let it snowball. Obviously, they get a 2-goal lead pretty early, and I thought Jar's made some big saves just to keep us in it, keep it at 2, and then get some big ones from Gino there, Gino and Pusty. So it was just, I think, just not letting it, build, and did a good job of that.
Mike Sullivan said this morning, you guys have won 9 of 15 now, and he was proud of the way you guys have kept being motivated despite some tough circumstances. What has kept the group motivated?
I don't know. I think it's just it's accountability to one another. I think just making sure we stick together through a tough time. That's what it comes down to. I mean, it's not an easy situation. It's not one we want to be in. Some days it's not as fun when you're dropping games and you're not going to make the playoffs. So I think it's just up to us to help one another and handling that. And I thought we've done as good a job as we possibly could, given the situation. And we get some new people in the lineup tonight. We grind out a win on the road. That's good. We got to find ways to win.
Talk about that third period, getting that goal and that power play. Seeing the speed of you guys.
Yeah, it was just a great play by Rusty. We had some good zone time and didn't get a ton of looks, but we were possessing the puck. And he made a great play to find me back door there. So, I mean, that's on the road, tie game, you get a power play late like that. You got to try to take advantage of it. It was nice to see it going.
Just first and foremost, what was maybe working for the power play tonight and over this last stretch of games and in general?
Yeah, I think we're just playing really simple. Like we say, we're really effective when we're moving the puck, and we kind of don't really have one set play that we like to run. We're getting all 5 guys involved, and I thought we did a good job of that tonight, and just kind of spreading them out, getting them on the run a little bit, and then plays open up from there.
It was a bit of a rough start tonight. What got you guys back on track?
Yeah, I think just trying to keep it simple. Obviously, when you let one up, 15 seconds in, we knew they were going to have a pushback, but I think we just kind of started to play a little more simple and let the game come to us. And Jar's made so many big saves early. I think he really kept us in it there, and we were able to get some big power play goals. So can't say enough about Jar's effort tonight.
What does it say about the team to battle back like that?
Yeah, it's great.
Circumstances that you're in.
Yeah, obviously, we're not out of the playoffs, but we have a lot of pride on the line, and we want to build something for years to come. And there's so many good players who have played it for a long time, and we owe it to them to keep battling and not to give up on the season. So I think we've done a good job of that ever since we've been eliminated.
Are you guys playing more relaxed now than you have, considering the situation that you're in?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's more of a pride thing than anything. We just don't want to come in and let it be an easy night for teams who are getting ready for the playoffs. Obviously Jersey's a really good team. They want to get back on track after a tough game last game, but we were made well aware of that coming into the game, and we just wanted to keep playing well like we had the game before. And like I said, it's a tough start, but we stuck with it.
Do you feel like you're able to turn the page and move past that?
Yeah, it was a tough start. I think when we give up chances like that to start, I think it's just something that it's hard to prepare for. It's hard to kind of climb back from, but I thought the guys did a great job. I thought we kind of settled down after that, and obviously our special teams was really good tonight, so I think that helped and gave our team a bit of a boost there.
Do you feel like you're personally better able to handle moments like those than you were maybe early in the season?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately it's something that been a part of too many times, so I think it is something that you could look back at, but I think it is something that it is tough when we start down 1-0 to start a lot of games.
You made some pretty big saves, though, the rest of the first period and into the second as well. You seeing the puck well? Did you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I think after those 2 goals, second goal is kind of unfortunate. It just kind of goes off the guy skating to the net. But after that, I thought the team settled in really well, and I think I did so myself. And I think when we kind of settle in like that and play our game and kind of possess the puck more, it makes it easier for me. And I think we play a better game, full 60, when we do that.
What is it like to see Rusty set a new career high in goals? You know, he said like 10 years into his career, and just, you know, how much does that speak to the growth and development that he, you know, has had over that time?
Yeah, you see from the very first year until now, I think he's grown every year as a player and as a person, and I think it starts in practice. Every day he's the first one on the ice, he's the one practicing his craft, and I think that it's no surprise that he's still doing that at this age. It's fun to see, and it's fun to stand back there and watch.
I know you've talked a lot about his qualities and everything he brings, but what do you think it is about this year in particular that has helped him reach that new level, you know, 10 years into his career?
I think part of it is he stayed healthier. That's a big part of it, because when you look at some of his games played, if he had played more of the seasons, especially the full seasons, you know, he got you know, some of the, you know, the COVID years were a little bit different with the number of games that we played, but you know, for a lot of his career here, he's on a 30-plus goal pace, year in and year out. And he plays the game hard with a certain level of honesty, and his willingness to block shots and to play in the battle areas. He puts himself in harm's way. And when you play the game the right way, like he does, you know, it's hard to stay healthy because he plays so hard, and his willingness to do a lot of those things where he, you know, he makes sacrifices physically in order to try to help us win. So he's a terrific hockey player. He just represents everything, I think, that it means to be a Pittsburgh Penguin, with his approach, his work ethic, his passion for the game, and how he plays it. He's a highly intelligent hockey player on both sides of the puck.
A bit of a tough start. What have you seen from Jarry that has him better able to move past things like that compared to, you know, earlier in the season?
I think Jar's made some big saves for us. You know, we didn't have the start we wanted. We knew they were going to come out hard. You know, they had a tough outing the game before this one. We've all been there. We know what that's like. You know, we knew they were going to come out with urgency. We didn't have the start we wanted, but I give credit to the whole team, starting with Jar's, just the resilience, kind of the stick-to-itiveness, not getting down. There's a lot of hockey left. We just got to keep competing, and that's what he's doing. He's competing hard. You know, it's all about the next save, and when you're in that mindset, I think as a player, when it's kind of that next play mindset. You know, I think you can stay in the moment, and then you don't get overwhelmed by any of the circumstances around it. If, you know, you make a mistake or things don't go your way, you can't allow those things to affect your ability to perform moving forward. And a big part of that is just staying in the moment, and I think Jar's is doing a real good job at that.
I gotta imagine you're pretty happy with the way the team did rally back from that sort of slow start.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously we didn't have the start that we wanted. You know, that's hockey. And so, you know, what I loved about tonight was just the resilience or the certain resolve, where we didn't let it snowball, and it could have. And so, you know, I give the players a lot of credit. I think there's a certain mindset that's required to win in this league, and it's not always going to go your way. You know, for whatever reason, sometimes, you know, every team in the league faces it where, you know, it doesn't go your way early on, you get down a few goals. You know, do you have the ability to bounce back? And I think, you know, obviously we've got a lot of leadership in our room. That's a pretty accomplished group, but they also have a wealth of experience to draw on, and they've been on both sides of those types of situations, and so they know how to react. You know, I think we have good leadership. I think those guys set the tone for us. You know, Gino gets a huge goal, for example, that gets it to 2-1. You know, I thought G had a real strong game tonight. But those guys lead the charge for us. You know, Sid makes an impact again. The consistency that he's playing with. But just for me, it's more about the attitude and the mindset that we don't get down when it doesn't go our way. We respond the right way to the adversities, and inevitably they always come. I mean, it's just the nature of the sport.
What did you think of Houston in this game?
I thought Pusty had a solid game. You know, I thought he did some good things 5-on-5. He was skating. I think he sees it pretty good. He thinks the game pretty well. You know, he scores a goal for us on the power play. You know, I thought he was pretty good in that bumper position on Gino's unit. I thought he had a solid game.
Thanks, Coach.